On the edge of speed, we drive the line, leave them broken at the finish sign. Glory waits for those who dare. In the heat of battle, we're prepared. No mercy shown, no second place. In this league, there's no disgrace. If you're not first, you know the luck. But in the end, it sucks to suck. On the end, it sucks. Clears and engines die. The victors stand, the rest just cry. The truth is hard, the road is rough. If you can't keep up, well, it sucks to suck. Engines roar, the lights go green. Metal beasts on gasoline. Pedal down, no turning back. Feel the thunder on the track. Chrome and steel, the battle calls. Through the smoke, we stand tall. Rivals crushed, we leave in dust. Speed is our only trust. You think you're fast, you think you're tough, but on this track it sucks to suck. Born to race, born to fight. Push the limit all the night. Feel the fire, hear the sound. Burning rubber on the ground. No mercy shown, no second place. In this league, there's no disgrace. If you're not first, you know the luck. But in the end, it sucks to suck. Feel the rush, adrenaline. Victory in our skin. Tighten the grip, hold the line. Defeat's the word we leave behind. Danger right with every turn. In every crash, a lesson learned. The roar of engines, scream of tires. Feeds the need, ignites the fire. You thought you had the skills to win, but the checkered flag is where it begins. Born to race, born to fight. Push the limit all the night. Feel the fire, hear the sound. Burning rubber on the ground. No mercy shown, no second place. In this league, there's no disgrace. If you're not first, you know the luck. But in the end, it sucks to suck. On the edge of speed, we drive the line. Leave them broken at the finish sign. Glory waits for those who dare. In the heat of battle, we're prepared.
Good evening and welcome to the Core GT series. This is season 16, round number 5, coming at you from virtual Fuji International Speedway. Looking like it's a little wet out there tonight. It's 68 degrees, 19-mile-an-hour wind gust. So, Fuji, obviously, as you can see here on the track map, is a nice, very long straightaway with some squiggly bits down up under it, and a little hairpin up the hill as you come back around. So, that is that as these guys are getting ready for their qualifying runs here. You can see there's the track's namesake in the background, Mount Fuji. Normally you get a little bit better side of it, snow-capped and all that, but, well, the rain's decided to take care of that for us. So let's look here and get on track with somebody here. So with the rain and everything, I know it's going to be a little taxing on the system here tonight, but I've got it turned down to a point it should be okay. And as this is qualifying and they don't have a ton of laps here on the track, you can kind of see where all the puddles are currently. And yeah, as soon as we start lap 1, there's going to be a ton of that water put up in the air. After that point, some of these puddles will start to clear. So it will be interesting to see lines as they emerge and disappear, just depending on where everybody's running. I don't think I have a way to pull up the weather radar just yet, but it is so 70-degree track temp, but it is pretty wet out there. When I looked at the radar earlier, it's going to be rain the entire time. It's a bunch of red splotches interspersed with some green and a few no rain sections. So the track is going to be ever evolving here tonight. As we are looking at the Ford Mustang of Tyler Roberts here as he just started his first flyer lap. We got some guys already. Looks like Forrest getting the first lap on the board here, saying he got one, but not showing me a time. So I'm guessing he got his deleted. That was Eric Martin who took the original pole, which we got some guys coming through here now. So that's going to change very quickly. Currently, Sergi, well, there's the one we kind of expected, is Nicholas there. Currently sitting in provisional pole with a 153.8. So that's pulling a nice little heater out of somewhere where I'm not sure. I will say, if you'll notice some audio issues out of iRacing tonight, I have noticed some of the drivers' cars are quiet. It is not tied to a particular vehicle. It is the particular drivers themselves. Not quite sure what's going on there. We'll see that. So if it goes quiet on the car audio, I apologize, but that is currently out of my hands. If I boost them up when a normal car comes by, it will absolutely blow your eardrums. So gonna err on the side of being quieter rather than making you turn your stuff down. But it is, Connor Wagner setting a faster time there, 152.4. So definitely some more time in there. They're going to have to get some heat in these tires. Yeah, looking like it wasn't raining there in that one camera shot for a split second, but I'm guessing that has to do more with how they're zooming in and zooming out on the camera. I know iRacing has a little bit of a weird behavior when it comes to camera zoomed in. Ooh, there's another fast lap out of Forrest Minter. Ooh, that's Kevin Hayes there with a 151.8. So 2 full seconds faster than Nicholas's time. Who I'm not seeing here on track currently. Oh wait, looks like he took it. And gonna go back. There we go. Gonna have to. I'll put it on our TV mixed camera setup here. So Nicholas there with a 151.03 currently sitting on provisional pole. Looks like we got about another 3 minutes or so for these guys to get their last laps in. Find someone who is here out on track. There is mine. TV mix, so. Alright. And that is Jack DeBruin. Gonna go up to 4th there with that time. Ricky Renner setting a 150.87 there. Still, he's got one lap to go. Has enough time to get it in. So I wonder if the track is just naturally getting a little quicker with everybody qualifying. If it's taking the track evolution into account. So maybe Ricky running around with a little less water on track probably than Nick doing it earlier. That's Connor Wagner sitting on 150.7 on provisional pole currently. We hop in here with Ricky and you can kind of see that McLaren a little slideways through that turn down into the right-hander to head up the hill. Luckily we're not running the most awkward chicane setups there into this one. This might be a little awkward, but man, is it a lot of fun. You can see the spray coming off those tires there as it looks like he is setting some new tracks there. Oh, almost running a little wide there, having to check up. Will be interesting to see what this time looks like for Ricky as he is going to come around. Been a while since we had somebody qualifying this late. Also showing Nick Terrell. Well, Terrell's done He's done his 2 full laps. Ricky gonna have enough here to sit on pole. Coming across the line. Waiting for the time update. Yep, that is Ricky Renner taking provisional pole with a 150.39. So, good job, Ricky, for that lap. Nice that we got to see there. Check in with Charles Adams and the Fat Boy Racing McLaren here. He has done his. He's just trying to get a little extra in. A little extra practice to see how the track is evolving. Track disconnected. It's a little weird. Haven't seen that before. Alright. Not seeing any dropped frames. Everything should look good on the broadcast from what I can tell. So that is Nick Terrell in the pit lane now. About 20 seconds left till the session is ended, and then we can pull up our grid here and see exactly how bad this is going to be trying to look down the long start stretch here. To try to go through all these cameras, you know. There we go. And we have some... Just trying to finalize the grid now. Come on. Here we go. And here's your grid. And for some reason, it is a little tiny. So, Ricky Renner is going to be starting in here. I thought I messed with this thing and got everything set up, but not appear that way. See if I can't do a little something here. That's a little bigger, but in the wrong spot. Let me get this straight because it's going to mess with other things. Let's go there. We're going to have to go. That is the wrong direction. Yeah, that's getting a little more correct. Close enough for government work. For right now. There we go. So that is Ricky Renner sitting on pole here tonight with a 150.394. Connor Wagner starting in second. Jake Browning in third. Nicholas Menard will be starting in fourth. Maynard, Menard, not sure. I'll have to check on that next time. Jack starting in fifth there. Kevin Hayes in sixth. Hayden in seventh. Forrest in eighth. Nick Terrell starting all the way up in ninth. Nick actually getting some qualifying in this week. Warren in 10th. Sergey in 11th. Zane starting in 12th. Now, in 13th is going to be Philip Adams. 14th, Philip Langkamp. Sorry, Eric Langkamp. Josh Anderson starting in 15th. Nathan Nickerson in 16th. Josh in 17th. Charles Adams in 18th. Tyler Robertson 19th. Gary Corcoran in 20th. 21st is going to be Alex Jaspers. 22nd, James Molyneux. 23rd, Michael Riggs. 24th is going to be Eric Martin. 25th, Dan Griffith. Dave Tilford starting in 26th. Jack Peterson starting in 27th. Alan Gulson starting in 28th. Chris Hayes in 29th. And Drake Leach in 30th. So that is your starting grid here tonight. Sorry for that there. But next week we will have these guys out of rookies. Well, most of them. And there will be a lot of these guys up in the Platinum division. So it'll be nice to see those divisions fleshed out a little bit. And We'll check in with the guys up front here. So trying to see what kind of pace lap this is. This is going to be, I believe that is. All right, yep. So you can see them skewing up all the way down there. Like I said, this is going to be about a worst case scenario for a computer. These particular grandstands are very hard on the computer. The rain's hard. There's a decent sized field, 30 cars here tonight. And the spray they're about to kick up. So if it does drop for just a little bit, it should pass pretty quickly. As we are waiting for these guys to take the green. Alright. Barney getting ready to wave that flag. There we go. Everybody spreading out there. We're going to look down into Daiichi here. See if everybody makes it through. See a few guys starting from the pit lane there. Now down into Coca-Cola corner, you can see how bad the spray is. But honestly, not the end of the world. For guys in the back, it's going to be a little tougher. And after Coca-Cola corner, going to go through 100R here. You can kind of see the puddle there and how much these cars are throwing it out as they go down into the hairpin here. Oh, that is one spun around. I believe that is Eric Langkamp. So you carry Corcoran out wide there. Now down here into turn 8. And there was a pool. We saw the guys sliding through here in qualifying. And we will go over to Dunlop corner here. That is Jake Browning and Ricky fighting for first. Through turn 13 here. And this is Net's corner. So not exactly sure where it got that particular name. And then we have the last corner here, Panasonic corner. And you can see the spray here. What I'm going to do is hop on board with someone like Sergey here. We're going to go to... So that's what these guys are contending with that aren't in the front. That's what the spray looks like. You can see in the rearview mirror the guy, you know, hard to tell where the guy behind you is going. Everybody's just searching for a spot. And as you see, as the speed bleeds off, so does the spray. Oh! Sergey going backwards there. Not what you need to be doing. Very scary spot. Just hoping you don't get hit there. Got it spun around. Didn't lose too many positions. A good recovery there. I'm going to go ahead and flop over here to our mixed TV cameras. Let iRacing pick some good views and vistas for us. Also going to set it to most exciting here. Let's see what it thinks the most exciting llama battle is currently. Well, it's on Sergey right now. So maybe I was in the right spot. Maybe I know what I'm doing as a broadcaster. Alright. Well, that is Dan Griffin down behind Sergey there. He is up 14 positions already. Your biggest winner on lap 1. Jack Peterson up 12 spots. Looking like Nick Terrell, Charles Adams, and Josh Anderson did not make it through lap 1. All in the pits. Looking for some close battles here. Yep, this one between Sergey and Dan here getting going. Dan trying to look to the inside there. Showing quite a few little crashes, and that's what I heard there. I believe was Kevin Hayes sliding off there. Dan coming to the inside of Sergey here to launch it on. Who's going to get the better drag? Dan's going to tuck up in behind and disappear from our sight for a minute. Still see the headlights though. It's one of those things where it's so easy to miss your braking muscle because just the sheer amount of water in the air. But these guys for last lap running a 154.7 up front. So a little slower than qualifying. Everybody's probably been just a little more careful. But I will be curious with all 30 cars out track pounding around there, tossing all this water up in the air, if we're going to see maybe not some dry lines forming, but some of these puddles, you know, at least paths through the puddles. Check in here with another good one. Looks like Warren Sanger and Nathan Nickerson ahead. A little bit of some action here. But checking up front, that is Ricky Renner. Jake has gotten a 3-second gap over Ricky. So Jake apparently loving the rain. Little battle here between Connor and Forrest. A little McLaren on Ferrari action. Not something you're seeing too much of these days. Seems like the McLaren is the Ferrari's kind of been a little bit more of the meta car recently. Well, Will, I think we know why you missed, and we appreciate it. Did you tuning in? But yeah, that spray is no joke. I mean, just the amount of rain landing on the windshield. Yeah, I'm sure some of these drivers are wishing there was a quote-unquote high speed on these cars, but there is not here. Checking in with Jack Peterson. Is he going to try to make a move here? Looks like he was just down to the inside to avoid the spray and be able to see where he was going. Right there. Checking in here with James Molyneux behind Dave Tilford. Dave up 9 positions from the start, so looking to get his race back on track. Go back through here and let's see if we can find the start of the race. Here we go. They'll show me the crash for Eric here. If you go to TV1 and show what's happening here. What happened with Eric? Oh, getting in to one of the Fat Boys McLarens there. McLaren losing a bumper. Kerry, I think, may have lost the bumper. It just may be quote unquote there, or it's magic iRacing glue. So there was that one. Looks like we got a crash here between Kerry and Josh. I want to make sure. Yeah, get that set right. So a little bit of an incident there. Another one for Charles Adams here, missing that rear end. Yeah, looks like just kind of getting away from him there. Just not having the downforce he was expecting. A crash from Zane Bierman here. What happened to Zane? Alright, and we got this one for Sergi here. What happened there? Is this the one we saw earlier? Yep. That's when he spun it. Another crash for Peterson here. What happened to Jack? Looks like he goes down into turn 1, locking it down. Oh, just not having the ability to stop that Mustang there. The only good thing about rain is, you know, the cars don't have a tendency to take a lot of damage. Showing one for Alan Gullison here. What happened to Alan in the Liquid Death Mustang? Oh, yep, just kind of getting stuck together. A little iRacing glue. And a crash for Kevin Hayes here in that purple McLaren. What happened to Kevin? Ooh, slight slide there. But we will go back here. Go back live. All right. Looks like Connor and Ricky here about a half a second apart. Like they are trying to lap Josh Anderson already. There we go. Although Jake here off to a big lead, 4.4 seconds over Nicholas. And then Nicholas having a 2.7 second lead over Ricky, who has Connor in his tracks. The rain is definitely not letting up right now. Next closest battle for position is going to be between, looks like Jack Peterson and Kevin Hayes there. And just how little these guys are able to see is, I was hoping it wouldn't be this bad after the first couple laps, but these guys hanging in there. Looks like Nick Terrell and James Molyneux having a little bit of a battle here. Terrell to the inside, you can see exactly how twitchy the Ferrari trying to hydroplane there on him. And oh, little bit of contact. You know, what's the old saying, revving's racing? These two going at it door to door. Some good racing here. Might be down the field, but hey, a good battle is a good battle. And that is James going down to the inside of that turn and taking the position. This is Connor trying to work on Ricky here. I'm not a fan of some of these cameras that the mixed is going to. We'll go to the external cam here to kind of show you, as we need to also pull up our track map. There we go. So, yeah, that is all over the back bumper of Ricky there. You can see the rain light on the back of the McLaren flashing away. Ooh. These guys, you know, this is one of those races, it's almost more of a survival. You want to race, but I mean, right there you see pushing just a little too hard, giving Ricky the position back there. It doesn't take much, and if you catch a puddle the wrong way, you could be in the wall, you know, having to use, you know, however long to repair the car. So, you know, you got to push while being keeping it here on track. Got one here that's acting up. Not have Forest in the standings, apparently. We'll change and get him looking the correct way here. Of course, is going to wind up in our rookie class. There we go. So that should fix that one weirdness we were having there. I think that's going to take a overlay reload to fix. There we go. Let's set this to the overall, kind of see where everybody's sitting. Yeah. Ricky Renner currently with the fastest lap, last lap with a 151.81. Menard showing a 151.37, but I'm guessing must have had an off track or something to where iRacing is not actually counting that as the fastest lap of the race. But Jake not putting a foot wrong up here, 3.2 seconds ahead of Nicholas. Checking in with Dan Griffith, the guy who has won most of the races so far this season, is down in 7th place, up 18 positions. Another person up 18 positions is Jack Peterson here behind him. So Jack making some good headway. Dave Tilford, one of our admins here, is up 11 positions into 15th after a bad qualifying. So must have had to check his G-Sheets spreadsheet and get things straightened up before he decided to turn the pace up. I don't know. Heard that one. Showing a crash here for Charles Adams. What happened to that? Did he losing the back end there? And ooh, got it slowed down and woed up before coming back on track. A little bit of a sketchy rejoin, but left everybody room. All right. We have here a little bit of a battle going on here between Nick Terrell and Alex Jaspers. See Kerry Corker in this battle as well. All three of these cars are 4 position as they hit the long front straight drive. I'm just going to call it the drag strip pretty much. Kerry with that front end damage is going to be passed by Alex. Is not wanting to let Nick get his bumper out there, but he did. And oh no, Alex did not stop, and ooh, that's a hard hit into the wall there. Missing a front bumper. Running over the front. You can see the Mercedes bumper just tumbling there. Surprised if he will be able to control that car. You can see another McLaren off in turn 1 there. Going to hop into the cockpit view here. Looks like the steering wheel is relatively straight, so Jaspers may have gotten away with that without an insane amount of damage, although he will probably want to come into the pits now to get that car repaired. Who else do we have? It's a good battle. Now it is Nick Terrell and Kerry here. You know, for not having a front splitter or front bumper section, that Porsche is doing quite well in the rain. Imagine you would definitely want all the front downforce to keep those tires glued, but you know, being a Porsche, it might be a little less oversteery, might be a little easier to control. Checking in here, looks like Alan Gullison catching up to Zane Bierman here. Is Alan going to be able to make a move? Alan must have had a little bit of issue in the last lap. Really, 2:12, so just a little bit off pace there. Not what's exactly what you want, but you know, if you can make it work for you, you can make it work. That Mustang getting a good draft, sticking his nose out. Problem is you can't be too far down the inside, otherwise there is going to be a puddle there that won't let you stop. Alan deciding maybe this isn't the lap. Oh, Zane running a little wide and actually going to take it. As you can see, there are definitely a few cars that have gone a little wide here tonight. So, looking like a little bit of a battle here between Peterson and Hayes. Got another one brewing up here between Josh Betts, Nathan Nickerson, and looks like Dave Tilford's about to stick his nose into this one. David in the Ferrari, the others in the McLaren. You know, we got a pretty decent split of cars here tonight. Still no Lamborghini or Audi to be found. Yeah, Barry, it does kind of look like they're racing on a mirror. It is a good bit. Oh, that is Dave Tilford having a little slide, and I believe that was Eric Martin behind him trying to take avoiding action, having a slide as well. Yeah, and that quickly you can lose 2 positions. Check back in here. So this is going to be Nathan Nickerson, Josh Betts, and Sergey here. All these guys looking to sort themselves out. Yep, there we go. Looking out through here, everyone else, as you can kind of see on the track map, is all about a little more than a second away from each other. Alan Gullison, I saw, got past Zane Bierman. So Sergi kind of catching up to Nathan more than Nathan is catching up to Josh. You know, for the longest time, the Porsche in the rain was the car to beat, but you know, right now I don't think there's any obvious standouts. The McLarens are looking pretty decent, but that may just be because the McLaren's a little easier to hang on to. Check in with Philip Adams, who is currently leading our gold division in the Fat Boys McLaren. So good job for Adams here tonight. Being a rain race, I have to wonder, we're 21 minutes in, what the fuel burn is going to look like. If anybody, this is going to be one of those races that if somebody can pull out a one stop, it's probably going to be in the rain. You know, Fuji's got a lot of flowing corners. There's some chances to save some fuel. So definitely one to keep an eye on. Make sure. Did it take it? Yeah, it's just not going to show Forrest in the correct position, apparently, because it was not done before the race started. Check in with some of our division leaders. Currently, Ricky Renner leading Platinum, although I know for a fact that will not be the case next week with Nicholas and Dan, and I believe Jake, probably all joining Platinum. So, checking here. Looking like Peterson has caught up to the back of Dan Griffin. So that Mustang looking pretty good in the rain here tonight on this wonderfully soaked track. Thank you for this, Carl. Luckily, the cameras can see through a little better than the drivers. And just a shake. And this is what I was talking about. Some cars are louder than others. Tucking down to the inside, going to try to make the move. Not going to quite have enough overlap to make it happen there. But is there a drag race now down into Coca-Cola corner? See if he has anything for him. Not quite, not on this lap. Through 100R. Yeah. All over the back. You can see Jack having to tap the brakes here and there as they come out of the hairpin. Is that Mustang just able to get a little better run? You know, it almost seems like it's kind of it has a little more straight line than that Ferrari. sounds like somebody just slid. Sure, we'll see that here in a second. I believe that's going to be Chris Hayes who slid there. Nope, Hayden. That was going to be Hayden who slid off. And, ooh. The lap car of Charles Adams there, I believe. Oh. A little bit of contact. Peterson having to get going again. But he's going to hold on to that position over Kevin Hayes, it appears. Trying to get on the loud pedal a little early there. Saw the little slide out of the board. But will the McLaren of Hayes be able to out-drag? Oh, Peterson into the pits here. 25-minute mark to see our first taker for a pit stop, it appears. There's Nick Terrell stopped in on lap 0. So I guess Nick Terrell taking the pit lane start. He was one of those. Checking in. Oh, that is Menard got passed. Did that happen? Go back and show you the pass for. Oh, a slide out of Jake is what allowed Nicholas pass. And you see how tight this was. Jake looking to fight it back here, but around the outside, he hangs onto it. Good driving there by Nicholas. And he has grown a 2.7 second lead over Jake now, who has a 5.2 second lead over Connor Wagner. But from Ricky to Nicholas up front is right at 10 seconds now. So we're going to swap this from gap back over to interval where it should have been. There we go. You can kind of see who's got some good battles going on. In silver division, found our leader, Kerry Corder, in here. So good job out of Kerry here tonight. And that is going to be Eric Martin leading in the bronze division there. Good job to Eric here so far. He's got about a 3-car gap back to the second place in bronze, which is Zane Bierman. And looking for our leading gold driver is currently going to be Philip Adams. So Phil appears to be just keeping his nose clean. So definitely the track getting a little faster. Last lap, 149.2 out of Nick Menard. Yeah, showing here a best lap of a 148.0. So they have already surpassed the qualifying times, it appears. And Nicholas's lap there is why you now see the rookie division on the top. But like I said, okay, and that is Nick into the pits there. Jake going for an extra lap in the McLaren. And Ricky also going for an extra lap at 28 minutes. With these lap times, it's very possible that we may see Ricky Renner one-stop this. So definitely some fuel strats going on here tonight. Oh, Ricky getting a little slideways. Don't want to be doing that Tokyo drift. That is not what you want to do. If nothing else, I think that's exactly what Ricky was thinking. So checking in here as you see some of these guys coming out. So after the pit stop, the difference between Nicholas and Ricky is 36.68 seconds. You can see some of there. Let's pull up the lap time so you can kind of see. If I do that, I can do driver selected +2. Oh, I can do that, huh? That's interesting. We can also do this. Now, I think if I do that, that means if I put Hayes in here, there you go. You can kind of see some of their last laps, who's gaining, who's leading, and how that's working. We'll pull up our battle box here. This is where these guys are here out on track. We're going to jump into this little battle here between Nick Terrell and Forrest Minter. Nick coming to the inside through the little hairpin corner. They're going to launch it out. Who's going to win the drag race down the back straight? I kind of want to call it. There's definitely a kink in it. So yeah, Barry, I think Ricky may have... Oh, Ricky's gone for another lap yet. So Ricky, making it past the 30-minute mark, should easily be able to make it all the way to the end then. Definitely something to keep an eye out on. And that is 33 seconds back to Menard. The question is, can Menard save enough fuel to make up that 2 minutes to avoid a second stop? Last lap, Ricky had that spin, so his pace a little off there. Let's go back through here, check in. Connor Wagner came out. He is 10.9 from where he pitted. He is going to be close. Nick Terrell, who it says a pit lane 0, so I believe that is the pit lane start that caused that. So Nick currently leading your gold division here tonight. So yeah, Ricky, the Ferrari's having to pit on lap 15. 2 minutes 30. It's Nicholas is going to have to do a lot of fuel saving to manage to not have to stop again. That is Ricky Renner coming down the pit lane. I will be curious to see what the gap is between Ricky . 4.1 on that lap, 39 on the other. We're not going to get a good thing here. As here is Nicholas going to reclaim the lead while Ricky is in the pit lane. But Ricky just now getting into his pit box. So Nicholas with an 18.32 pit time. Have to see what the pit time is for Ricky here. Pull up our pit strategy box to show you kind of where these guys are pitting. So Renner able to make it 17 laps on a tank of fuel. Nick Terrell also managing to make it 17 laps. So he comes in this time. So a handful of guys doing that. Looking for a good little battle here on the track. Pull up some sector times here. You can look down there and see kind of who's got gap on who, but difference between Kerry and Allen in silver here is 1.5 seconds. So Allen pitted last, so he does not have an updated quote-unquote fast time yet. And so Nick Terrell coming out after that pit stop is in 12th overall, third in gold. So definitely having to, let's see, the difference between him and Philip Adams in gold is 44 seconds thereabouts. So that should be enough for Philip to be able to come in the pits and come back out and remain ahead of Nick Terrell there. But let's see here, checking in with Ricky. Pull up his lap time history. So before his pit stop, he was running 149s. And after his out lap, they were 150. There we go. Yeah. Well, we'll see what Ricky's lap looks like this time. There we go. So 203 at 236. There's your mainly just your pit difference, about 42 seconds. There's that. Let's check in with our series sponsor. Where has he gotten off to? Mr. Josh Anderson running 29th, you know, keeping it out on track and trying to make up some positions from this early bad start to this race. We do appreciate their sponsorship of the Core GT series. If you're in need of commercial vehicle graphics, check out Chase Decals. They specialize in vehicle wraps, fleet vehicle graphics, emergency vehicles, and interior graphics. Wraps and graphics that stick to your business. Visit chasedecals.com to learn more. So finally got Josh to send me a sponsor read that wasn't making it sound like it's falling all over words that I got from Carl, but feeling like we have a little bit of a battle here developing between Jack Peterson and Dan Griffin again. Peterson just breaking into that 1 second barrier, but launching onto the straightaway, taking almost 0.4 of a second out of Dan there. So that Mustang able to hunker down and get a good launch out of that final corner. Having to wonder if Dan's trying to extend and open that up to maybe try to pull off a one stop and see if he can make up some positions that way. But let's see who else here. A little battle between Josh Betts and Alan Gullison incoming as well. Try to keep an eye on these two here. Who's got the better time? Although that looks like that Josh has an entire mirror full of Alan there for a second. Let's see if this is just a Mustang thing as they launch out onto the front straight. And I really think it might be the fact that the Mustang just gets out of that last corner better than anyone else is currently. Going to make passing a whole lot easier, as that pulls him just about side by side as they go into the braking zone. Who's going to win? The last of the late breakers. Whoa, little wiggle out of the Mustang there. Covering him off and laying back on the power. It's a drag race down into Coca-Cola corner. Who's going to have it? Looking like Allen going to solidify that position as they go into Coca-Cola corner. Whoa, losing the back end there. Not what you want to do, Allen. So, yeah, there's certain someone I can think of that might have a word to say about that. At least it looks like Allen's trying there. So a little bit of a battle developing here between Forrest Minter, Philip Adams, Dan Griffith, and looks like Peterson fell back a little bit, so I'm guessing he had a little bit of a slide. Got Kevin Hayes all over the back of that Mustang. They're going to have to battle it down in here into turn one. with Hayes taking initial charge. They're going down in there side by side as they come out heading into Coca-Cola corner. It's another drag race. Being on the outside might not be where that Mustang likes it. Looking like Jack gonna hold on to that position there as he slides back out to cover off the McLaren there, taking the long way around 100R. So some good racing right there. Let's check back into these two here. Philip Adams trying to work on Minter here. Into the braking zone, you can see just how twitchy these cars are as they're trying to slow down in these massive puddles. And oh, Peterson again going wide. I got a feeling, I'm going to check it out here. If you're me, it looks like that Mustang's front splitter is just about going into the water. I have to wonder if it's not occasionally stalling out that arrow and causing these issues here. Because you can see right there, I mean, it looks like it should be throwing its own spray right there as he's coming up that hill. Just something to keep an eye on. Yes, if we do allow custom setups, I'll hop inside of the McLaren here. So the spray this close, not too bad. But is he going to try to poke his nose out? I mean, right now, you've got no braking marker other than the brake lights of the car ahead of you. You can see he gave Jack a little bit of room there. Yeah, just as you don't want to run into the back of him, because you run into the back of Jack, you take off his rear bumper, you take off your front bumper, and both your races are ruined for something. You lose a few tenths and you live to fight the next fight. So, ooh, Jack just barely can keep that Mustang here on the track tonight. Gap between Ricky and Nicholas is up to 19 seconds currently. Oh, no, Ricky, get it back going. Not in front of Alex, though. Safe rejoins, guys. Safe rejoins. Don't make us do something in admin. All right, a little bit of a battle here. This one continues to go on between Adams and Minter. Adams going to take the position here, it appears, but Forrest not giving it to him easy. Gonna fight him. Gonna take a little bit more curb there. That rear engine Porsche probably able to get out of the slow speed stuff just a little better, as you can see him take a little bit of a tighter line. If he can lay that loud pedal down a little earlier, it's going to be another drag race down the 1+ kilometer front straight. Yeah, and I know for our American audience, what the heck is a kilometer? There's about 2 point something of them in a mile. It's not a good unit of measurement. Even the Canadians measure big distances in time, not kilometers. And that appears that Philip is going to hang on to that position, putting him up into 5th overall. So some really good racing going on here tonight. Even if there is some really good, I don't want to say crashing, but brown pants moments. Yeah, that's what we're going to call it. Here are some good brown pants moments happening out here on track. But further back is, Eric Langkamp getting into the front of Zane Bierman there, trying to rejoin. And I know there's a big puddle out there. That's tough. Tough luck for Zane, who was running second in bronze. But speaking of bronze division, checking in with our bronze leader, Eric Martin, running 20th overall. Very nice showing for Eric there. Checking in, and the guy we keep seeing here tonight, Kerry Corcoran, in the silver lead, has a 5-second gap over Gullison there. So, we are about 15 minutes left to go, a little more. So if Alan wants the silver win here tonight, he's going to have to put in some work. And again, Philip Adams leading our gold division here. Nick Terrell currently 50 seconds off Philip Adams, so even if he doesn't stop, he'll make it up. He can maybe hit Jack Peterson if Peterson will hit lap 13, so we will definitely see him in here again. But checking on the gap between Ricky and Nicholas, it's 41 seconds now. So that's going to be very close if Nicholas has to do a splash and go to possibly letting Ricky catch back up. But the bigger problem will be also pitting on lap 16 is going to be Jake Browning, who could possibly also stretch it because he was right at that 30-minute mark when he came into the pits. And unfortunately, I think I saw a certain... Where is he? Was that Jack Peterson stuck in... Where's that? Is he showing a crash here for Drake Leach? What happened to Drake? Oh, not the spot you want to back up right there, as you see. Guy had to take avoiding action. Alan Gullison was the one that went off track, tried to get out of the way. And then, is he the one that's kind of getting stuck in the grass? He gets it back going, though. Sorry, crash for Alex Jaspers here. What happened to Alex? Was this the rejoin? Oh no, he just loop-de-loop. He looped it. Let's go back live here. Looking like we got a little bit of a battle between Ricky Renner, Dan Griffith, and Philip Adams here. So these changing conditions providing some treachery here tonight. You can see where the track is draining across, where the rain's just running across, looking like we have a much drier track surface than we did when we started this. Judging by the lap times, last lap, Nicholas running a 147.3. So some sort of more dry running happening here. So we'll be seeing that, you know, some of these cars are definitely running a little bit different lines. They're running where they couldn't earlier. And, you know, so now the problem is you're going to, where before you had no traction through some of these sections, you're going to have traction and then lose it through the puddles that are running across the track. So you have to be real careful where you're laying into power, and you may have to lift mid-corner when you weren't really having to lift before. Because while these cars do run traction control, sometimes it does not intervene as quickly as you would like to get the job done. So, looking like another little battle here between Tilford, Terrell, and Desiree. So these three guys going to be going in it. Keep an eye on them here for a little bit. And well, we have about 12 minutes left. Let's get some sponsor reads out of the way. Kim's Cups and More is your one-stop shop for all your apparel needs. Whatever your pleasure, Kim's Cups and More has it all. Check them out on Facebook today. That's Kim's Cups with a K and More. So I know they're located down in Freeport, Florida. So good company there if you need some personalized merch or cute little things. They do a lot. And also, we do appreciate their sponsorship, and also the Backbone Candle Company. Just a small candle company made by a tough mom, strong family, and a new dream. Check them out on Instagram, whatnot, and Facebook and TikTok. So, I know they have quite a few interesting scents. So again, we appreciate all these sponsors helping pay for the broadcast, putting out some moolah for these guys to win here at the end of the season. as looking like Tilford is going Nick Terrell hunting. Now, used to usually seeing Nick in the Skibby-Doo liveries, but no mystery machine here tonight. Looking back through, who else do we have here? And yeah, they're really kind of the closest battle, although it looks like it's opening up here a little bit. The other one I'm really seeing right now, kind of this Warren Sanger, Sergi, and Eric Martin are all kind of within about a second of each other, but no active battles currently going around on track. Let's check in with the lead group here, how they're looking. I'm gonna hop in this car here of Nicholas and see, is he lifting and is he trying to save some fuel? Did not appear to be there. Doesn't look like he's trying to upshift early either. And that is the 028, which is coming up to the back of Josh Betts there. So he is able to lap up to 16th position here currently if he can get around Betts. You can see that different line and how it's a little drier there on the inside. It's definitely not the dry line that he's making work here tonight. Getting a good run behind that McLaren. Getting the nose out. He's finally got a... Look like the windshield wiper stopped. I guess it got all the rain off for a minute. He breaks down. You can kind of see using the middle of the track where the rubber isn't just slammed into the ground and making it extra slippery. Yeah, not really seeing a bunch of lift and coasting out of Nick there up front, so guessing he's just going for all-out pace. Whereas Ricky Renner back here is 2.3 seconds behind Forrest. So I know this was one of Forrest's first races with us here in GT. Showing Forrest with a rookie license 2.5. I'm guessing that just means somebody does not do very many officials. Because if he's able to run up front with Ricky and company, he's got some pace. Definitely more than Ricky. All right. So we are coming up on lap 28. That'll be 29 and 30 if Nicholas can get another 15 laps. That's not going to be enough to make it to the hour, so he will have to come in, even if it's only for a splash of, 5 or 6 seconds worth of fuel. It's a long pit lane time. And it's, of course, on the straightaway, the long straightaway. So while you're throttling down there at the pit speed limiter, it is painful. Guys zipping past you at 230 kilometers an hour. And unfortunately, SDK displays their top speed in kilometers, and I have it set to where if I pull up the dashboard, it'll actually show y'all the miles an hour. So we can pick somebody like the 57 if I can find them, who is currently about to be at the end of the straightaway. 150. Oh, Connor missing a front bumper. So yeah, they are really maxing these cars out. Let's find somebody who has a front bumper. 150 before he gets on the brakes. It'll be about 155 miles an hour right before they go for the big old pedal on the left. So the big thing will be another lap to see if Nicholas comes in, or if he is able to somehow have saved 5 minutes worth of fuel. Nathan Nickerson here on the back of Forrest. Nathan pitted on lap 17, so he'll be going to the end without a stop. So this could be straight for position since Forrest has made his second stop. And Peterson stopping on lap 25 should have been his last stop. Yeah, that should easily allow him to get to the end. He was up 18 positions, and yep, there we go. As they come to lap 30, that is Nicholas Maynard coming into the pit lane here. Ricky Renner now, as you can see, going through the little S, is about to launch onto the back straight. But Jake Browning, sorry. So he did 16, which means 32, 2 more laps. He's going to be on the thing. The question is, can he save 1 extra lap of fuel during his stint? Obviously, Ricky got 17 out of it, so it is possible. But I guess that's going to be Jake kind of controlling the pace there to the end. He's got up to 20 seconds he can bleed off before Connor Wagner would catch him. Connor going to probably have to stop on the next lap or so, because especially not running a front bumper, you know, he can't really save fuel as well. And then, so yeah, Ricky, 8-second difference to Nicholas. So that spin definitely cost Ricky the chance to come out ahead of the pit stop before Nick. Nick stopping for 4.4 seconds, 38.9 seconds spent in the pit lane. So probably about a 30-second gap for your last fuel stop is what it's looking like. So 30 seconds. Yeah. Question is, in the next 4 minutes or so, can Ricky take 8 seconds out of Nicholas? And I don't, judging by their fastest and best lap times, I'm not seeing that happening. Yeah, but even a second place here tonight, anybody that finishes in that top 10, yeah. Take Jack Peterson here, for example. We have seen him have plenty of off tracks here tonight. Gonna be curious to see how close to the incident limit he has to be, especially if he got some 2Xs for loss of controls. But also checking in here, as Connor has started his 31 from 15, so he's made it 16 laps. Oh, Philip Adams having to come into the pits for a stop. Now Dan Griffin, he stopped on lap 15 as well. The question is that Ferrari going to have the required two and a bit minutes worth of fuel? I'm going to go click over to our start line. I do not see the white flag in his hand yet. I'm going to go make sure we're on the leader here as he comes around, because it's going to be after 58 minutes. It could show the white flag as Jake comes around this time. And it is. So that's going to be good news for Dan there, not having to do the extra lap. Where is he on track? Go to our TV1. No. So the question is, will he have to go into the pits this time, or is he going to be up 20 positions from his starting spot to take home a top 5 here tonight? He is all the way on the left side of the track, so I believe he is going to be taking that last lap and just has to make it home. Our leader here, Jake, making it around Josh Betts there. Connor Wagner, with no front bumper, apparently able to squeeze extra laps out of that McLaren. So if Connor makes it to the finish line, that is a great job out of him. Nicholas put a little bit more space over Ricky Renner there. Checking in with Philip Adams after his pit, still coming out with the lead in gold as he starts his final lap. Jack Peterson having to stop for one more lap of fuel. That has to be painful. One or two less spins may have given him the fuel to make it. You never know. Let's check in with Chris Hayes now leading in the bronze division. Has Eric Martin 0.7 of a second behind him. But as we are looking there, that is going to be Jake Browning taking the win here tonight. And we have Connor here. Should be coming home in second. He could run out of fuel now, and I still think he would beat Nicholas. Yeah. There you go. Your second place is going to be Connor Wagner. And then we have Nicholas Menard coming in third place overall. And then next will be Philip Adams. So here is the battle between Chris Hayes and Eric Martin. Eric not going to quite have enough, it appears, to take it from Chris. These two bronze drivers, though, beating out Alan Gullison currently for the silver. So I got a feeling we got two guys in bronze that may not be in bronze for very long, as we will get some of these guys, go ahead and start getting them into the booth here. That is the wrong Jake. Got a long list of them here tonight. All right, let's start pulling some of these guys in when they are ready here. We're gonna have to roll this back to a button here we're looking for. See who we can get first. Got to find somebody. Well, while they're doing that, let's pull up our results here. And of course, it does it small again, so my apologies. Oh wait, no, it's qualified. We need race results. That is Jake Browning taking home the win here tonight. Connor Wagner in second. Nicholas Menard in third. Ricky Renner in fourth. Dan Griffith coming in fifth. Kevin Hayes in sixth. Philip Adams in seventh. Nathan Nickerson in eighth. Ninth will be Forrest Minter. 10th, Nick Terrell. 11th, Dave Tilford. Josh Betts in 12th. Sergi in 13th. 14th is Warren Sanger. 15th, Tyler Roberts. 16th, Jack Peterson. 17th, Hayden. 18th is Jack DeBruin. 19th, Chris Hayes. Eric Martin in 20th. And then 21st is Eric Langkamp. Alan Gullison in 22nd. James Molyneux in 23rd. Josh Anderson in 24th. Zane Bierman in 25th. Kerry Corcoran in 26th. Alex Jaspers in 27th. Drake Leach in 28th. 29th, Michael Ricks in 30th, who's going to be Charles Adams. So let's see if we can pull in. Let's see, who do we got here first? We're going to go with Alan first then. Alan, this is John in the booth. You got a copy? Oh, we saw you a little sideways, slideways, and overshooting a few corners there, but coming home with a silver division win here tonight. Yeah, but I mean, you let two bronze drivers beat you though.
at all. I couldn't see even some of the apex on the turns. I just couldn't see them at all. So it was just one of those things where you just drive right off the track and you don't even know it until you're off the track. So
Yeah, towards the beginning there, some of those puddles, it just looked like you were driving on a mirror, and I saw both
yeah,
you and your teammate there.
Jack.
Yeah, Jack. He dropped in the
Yeah,
standings from where he was earlier because he had to pit in the last lap. But yeah, saw
yeah.
somebody the Mustang just say, "No, I'm not turning. Sorry."
Yeah, I guess he had a little incident or something like that,
A
but
few.
I don't know. It's tough out there, man. I mean, you can't see anything, and then if somebody's alongside you, even if you know you're aware of them alongside you, the the track is just not wide enough to stay in the dry line. If you could even see the dry line, if there was like a racing line in the wet, if you could even, and it was I mean, I almost took out Ricky Renner. So Ricky, I'm really sorry about that. I saw him coming on the outside of me right there, and I just stayed on the inside, and I let off a little bit, going into the turn, and the car still wanted to slide all the way to the left side of the track into him. So it was rough, but whatever. It's over next week.
Well, congratulations on acquiring the silver division win here tonight. Anybody you want to give a
Thank you.
shout out to on that Ford Mustang before we let you go?
Hayden, I want to give a shout out to Hayden. He's had a couple issues. This is his first league. But he kept a level head and came out on top tonight. So congrats, Hayden.
Very well, and hopefully we can catch you next week.
Definitely. I'll see you guys next week.
All right, that was your silver winner, Alan Gullison. Now we're going to pull. There we go. Pull in Mr. Philip Adams. Mr. Adams, this is John in the booth. You got a copy.
How you doing, John? Good to hear you tonight.
Going all right. Usually you're the one trying to make the one stop work, maybe, and we saw a few guys pull it off tonight, but you weren't one of them.
No, I wasn't. I had Dan Griffin right on my butt the whole race, and I really wanted to beat him, and I didn't beat him.
Yeah, it looks like he managed to pull the one stop out, even though he's pitted on lap 15. I was not expecting to see that Ferrari managed to save that extra lap.
Neither was I. Definitely should have done that game plan. That's what my usual game plan is, but I didn't have it tonight. I wanted to beat Dan, and then I think I ended up right behind. I was with Ricky Renner and Dan Griffin, and I think even Nicholas Maynard maybe at one point. And I spun out like 3 times in that long left-hander, and it was, anyways, it was kind of frustrating. But
Yeah, there were more than a few cars spinning tonight.
yeah, I
So,
think Ricky was having some struggles tonight.
yeah. We'll get to talk to Ricky here in a little bit, and I'll have to listen to him complain during admin review. But it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, but good race tonight. It was fun. That start was crazy. Couldn't see anything. I was just on a hope and a prayer trying to make it through. Really, through the first lap was just nuts.
Yeah, I hopped in one of the cars coming down the front straight on lap 2, and it was pretty bad.
Yeah,
But it looked
it
like
was,
after that it faded out a little bit.
yeah, it did. There was definitely some times when it stopped raining and cleared up, and track actually like dried out for it being wet. Like the puddles dried really fast. It was kind of cool. So
So I know next week we're headed to Daytona.
Daytona.
You looking
I
forward to that
struggle
one?
at Daytona. I struggle very much at Daytona, so we will see. We shall see. But yeah, I look forward to this every week. It's the highlight of my week. So
Well, congratulations on making it to the broadcast room again. Anybody you want to give a shout out to on that McLaren?
you pulling up the solo run again tonight, and Team Fat Boys just having a good time out here.
All right, congratulations, and hopefully we can catch you again next week.
Thanks, John.
And that was Philip Adams, your gold winner. We're going to pull Ricky Renner. Ricky, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
John DeBooth, I got a copy.
Yeah. So, last week, I guess you get to win platinum relatively easily. But
Yeah. It's gonna sting a lot whenever it comes across and they're all moved up to platinum and those wins just get given out left and right to other people.
I mean, you had a chance tonight, but we saw you left,
Throw it
right,
away.
and every way spun around the course, and I think multiple corners.
Yeah, no, I think yeah, I'd say it was more the same corner multiple times, but the other ones were a little bit of help. Just pure lack of sticking to the game plan, I was ready for the one stop the entire race.
Yeah, we
From
saw you pull out
practice, I was
17 laps. So
yeah, from practice, I was planning on that the whole time. Race Labs was saying like 33, 34 laps. I'm like, perfect. This is gonna be great. And yeah, that second stint, just they were starting to get away a little bit, and I just let that get to me instead of just sticking to the plan, which probably would have been fine. Nope. Decided to start pushing. I had the extra fuel to burn and went ahead and crashed twice on my own. So the other ones I can't even be that upset about.
well, we're headed to Daytona next week. I know that's a track that everyone's got some practice on. You looking for a little redemption there?
Yeah, redemption would be nice. I'm not sure what to run there. The Porsche's always been the king there, but it's in a really bad spot right now. So
Yeah, it's not very
uh
fast in a straight line.
yeah, so we'll see. We'll do some testing and no we won't. I lied. That is a complete lie. We will just wing it again next week on Thursday. We'll just go, hey, let's just drive this. But it should be fun.
Well, like I said, congratulations, and hopefully we can catch you up on the podium next week.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, that is going to be Ricky Renner in platinum. And let's see who we got left here. It's like we can pull Jake in. Jake, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah.
So, we saw you leading there for a while, making the one stop work. And then unfortunately, that little spin cost you a little too much, I think, at the end.
What? No, I got P1.
Oh, dang, I'm an SDK. You're right, you did.
Yeah.
So apparently I swapped over before and reverted the standings I'm looking at to earlier in the race.
Oh, dang.
And I have it clicked on you and it's showing. Okay, it's broken. Yeah, it is what
Yeah.
it is. But good win here tonight. Sorry for the mix up, but
All good.
making the one stop work. Yeah. Were you worried at any point that you weren't going to be able to make it to the end, or was it pretty easy on you?
There was a moment where mid-second stint where it started to dry up where I did worry a little bit, but thankfully it started to pick back up and I was able to, the lap times came back down, and that definitely secured it to make it that one stop.
And no, TC10 is not cheating.
Yeah, I mostly ran TC10 most of the race just for safety, because this is one of the saving graces of me is I'm really good in the rain, so this was definitely a welcome change of pace for position wise, because I'm not good at Fuji in the dry. So definitely a wet Fuji is more suited for me. But TC10 definitely definitely for the win.
Yeah, I guess starting out there, you didn't have too much spray to contend with in the beginning, but we saw some of the guys in the back. I'm surprised there was not a huge pile up in turn one.
Oh yeah, yeah, that spray is it's realistic, that's for sure. I know it's kind of contested that it's too much of a wall, but I think it's perfect.
I mean,
Thankfully,
150
yeah,
miles an hour and 20 cars ahead of you.
yeah, oh yeah,
y- you're not going to see anything through that.
yeah,
There's
oh yeah.
you may
Thankfully, I
not
didn't
like
have
it,
to
but it
worry
is
about it.
real.
Yeah, thankfully I didn't have to worry about it for most of the race. Poor Renner, just didn't have a good first couple of laps, gave me the lead, and I just kind of settled in and did my thing, and it was about the second or third lap I was like, yeah, I can one stop this. So from then on I was fuel saving the entire race.
Well, congratulations on the win here tonight. We're headed to Daytona next week. Looking forward to that one. Or
Oh yeah, Daytona's one of my favorites. Can't wait.
good. Well, anybody you want to give a shout out to on that McLaren before we let you go?
Just want to give a shout out to Evo Sim Sport, Evolution Sim Sport, and the Delta Sport guys. They've been helping a lot with the setups and whatnot, and helping me get used to GT3. GT3 isn't really my primary car, but this league is helping me get more accustomed to it and whatnot. Give me some competition to learn from and everything. So it's been it's really awesome.
Well, again, congratulations, and hopefully we can catch you next week.
Alrighty, thank you. Later.
That was your winner, Jake Browning. I'm going to pull second in because I'm apparently an idiot. So, Nick, this is John in the booth. You got a copy.
Hey, John, how's it going?
SDK wanted to be silly and revert the standings to before the end of the race. So, pulled the wrong guy in
Wow.
for a second. But
Why would it do that?
I don't know. So we saw that Dan managed to make the one stop work. Did you have any chance of it, or was that just off the table for you?
Going into it, I did not think it was going to be at all possible. The first stint, I was saving a little bit, and I was way short, so it was kind of off the table in my mind. And then about halfway through that last stint, Dan was like, I think they're going to one stop. I was like, what? I was like, really? And so I just started trying to really push the pace and see if we could go the extra lap and throw everybody off, and ended up making some mistakes.
Yeah, I don't think anybody. I don't think there's going to be a 0x when I'll check the incident report later out of anyone. I'm pretty sure I saw everybody off track at least once or sideways or
I would be
it's some
impressed
sort of
otherwise.
drama.
Yeah, that was a wild race. I've never experienced that kind of a start, but man, everybody did a fantastic job keeping it clean. There was some good action, some good battling, and some passing, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it was. I was fully expecting to see a yard sale of carbon fiber parts available for sale after the race after turn one, but everybody pretty much kept it pretty clean, and they waited till they could see to start attacking. It appears.
Right. That's funny
But
how that works out, but
I know next week we're headed to Daytona. You looking forward to that? Getting away from the rain and the unpredictableness.
yeah, definitely looking forward to getting away from the rain. Daytona's so popular and gets used a lot. I kind of like to focus on it once a year, but it'll be a decent little preview for things to come here in January. And yeah, it's never a bad race at Daytona. Just everybody's really fast there, so it's always really, really tight.
No. Most of your GT3 guys have never spent 20 hours doing practice for Daytona 24. That doesn't happen.
No, that's unheard of. More than thinking.
Well, again, congratulations on the podium here tonight. Anybody you want to give a shout out to on that Ferrari before we let you go?
Yep, just again the 100 Force team, Dan, my teammate, and just man, everybody at Core. This is our first season here in this league, and it's been fun so far. All the drivers are great. The leagues ran very well, so anybody's out there listening and are not partaking in the action, like, get in here. This place is awesome.
Well, again, congratulations, and hopefully we can catch you again next week.
For sure. Thank you.
That was your actually third place, it appears. Nicholas Menard, and yeah. So, but from everybody here at Core, keep the shiny side up and the rubber side down, and we will see you next week.
Engines roar, the lights go green. Metal beasts on gasoline. Pedal down, no turning back. Feel the thunder on the track. Chrome and steel, the battle calls. Through the smoke, we stand tall. Rivals crushed, we leave in dust. Speed is our only trust. You think you're fast, you think you're tough, but on this track it sucks to suck. Born to race, born to fight.